Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, everybody. Let me set my timer. Yeah, we get a limited amount of time before the camera be shutting down. We gotta keep the timer going. And let me get my book together. I love good news.
Yes, I do as well, sir.
So, as far as everything going here in the land, everyone who needs to understands and are making preparations. So I got a nice little video this morning, understanding of what is needed and the direction that we're heading in. Here in a couple of days, those of you who have partnered with us, you'll be receiving your royal invitations. That's coming up soon. You'll be seeing those. Those will be going out. You know, if you don't receive one, you know, you haven't partnered with us. It's not going out to the viewers. The sideline is the looky-loos. It's going out to the partners, and they will receive their information. The appointed time that people will be coming out is around May 26th. Okay, so it's around this time. It's not that specific date. We will be receiving people around that time, before, after, and we will be having the official meeting on the land, on our property, on June the 2nd. And that's in your Gregory time, so you could comprehend. So on June the 2nd. So it is a wonderful and a fantastic thing that we are in the process of doing. It is good that we are proceeding with this reading. You know what I'm saying? I really applaud the faithfulness of the faithful who have gathered themselves to me, because they have been tested. And the rest, don't know. Where did we leave off yesterday?
Code, better sheet. And we're starting at 34:1. We completed 33:20.
Okay. So,
This is them entering into Shechem.
All right. So here's a question for you. So where Jacob raises an altar, right? So to raise an altar, this is always a earthen altar. They gather some stones and they cook upon them. So there's some stones and they take some dirt and mud and that's it. It's nothing much to it. So who does Jacob give the tithes to?
Not for sure, sir. That's a great question.
He has to give the tithes to somebody. It says in verse 20, he raised there an altar, and he gave the tithes which he has set apart of all that he had before Allah, the Allah of Israel. Israel. So who he giving the tithes to?
Who's present with him? Okay, now here. kind of floored right now on that one.
So, if you don't understand, you have to understand this. So, Levi has been set apart. And then, because of the ordinance of the Most High, he submits to the ordinance and he gives the tithe and the sacrifice unto Lawi.
So this is when Lawi began.
This is when he starts to begin the journeying and the ordering of the priesthood. So once he was set apart, he let him do it.
Oh, wow.
Right? When you look at Genesis 33:17.
Yes, sir.
Right? So Jacob comes to the place and he's dwelling in a tent. He journeys there how long?
A year.
So before he sets Lawi up and begins sacrificing, he's just building up the flocks and everything for a year. But maybe I'm lying. Let us read the rest of the verse.
And he built in it a madrasa, the school.
The school.
And for his flocks, he made booths, which we see over there. Therefore, he called the name of the place Sukkot.
So, and he's done the same thing in which his father Isaac has done. So he takes a full year. He starts with what he has. He gets an establishment, a field, a piece of land, flocks, and he's gardening and tending the garden and to the flocks. And after he's taken his losses, he builds for a rock solid year. Then from there, he journeyed into the land of Canaan. Right?
Yes.
And then from the land of Canaan, he now raises the altar upon the earthen altar and he gives his tithe. So for a full year in the school, the Levites or Lawi was being trained in the service. It takes a year to train them in the service.
Well, yeah, because when we go back to when Aaron and them was trained and then assigned,
it took a year to develop.
To do it.
I mean, I'm hoping this clicks because I know nobody has ever gotten fixed or focused on this little detail here. So from the time they met at Mount Sinai, it took them a year to get the priesthood installed. So they left on Passover, and the priest service didn't begin again until the first day of Nisan, and they had to do that feast and festival and then get into preparation for the Pesach. It took a year.
Yeah.
And they journeyed, and it says the same things. They journeyed in Sukkot.
Sure did.
They journeyed in booths, in tents. So the booth, right? The Sukkot, this is a shady area. You see the little white one. This is for the sheep, and they in this covering, right? It's a temporary building made of canvas or material just to give the sheep shade from the summer suns. And in the winter months, you let them grow their wool, and it don't get too cold here, but you want them to kind of stay together and stay warm. They can survive in the herd.
Wow.
So it takes a year, and you don't give the tithe as soon as you buy the flocks.
No, it's time.
It's not time. They have to birth up, for a solid year. And you start again after the year in Nisan. So it says Jacob left in the springtime because he was putting the sticks up.
Mm-hmm.
So he's starting the journey in, and he begins the journey, and he's in the what? The Hajj time, the Hajj season that he's journeying.
And you spoke some videos before about the firstborns and them coming at the Hajj time
in the Hajj
of this year
season. So the one thing I want to tell people is by the time you see what I'm saying, okay, about what you need to do and that you need to come. So by the time you see you need to come, you may not be able to.
Absolutely.
Okay? So when you need to, you won't be able to. You see? You don't want to put yourself in that position. You really want to be in the position to say, just in case, let me put something and lay something up for myself in case this brother is right. That would be wise. You see?
Mm-hmm.
I might want to contribute to this because I see what he's saying. He does have a point. And even though it's not in my book or whatever, and everybody else may not be in agreement, or they may think this brother's off, this brother's got some sense. This is a smart brother. And if he is correct, I'd rather be in with him and his plan than be stuck with the rest of everybody else in a hard way. Right?
Yes, sir.
That will be wisdom. You see? So before we close this out and go into Dina and we get into the stories that happen now in the next phase, I just wanted to see how all three of the fathers entered the land the same way.
And nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. They all had to come back and buy a portion to get established peacefully through the affliction. Okay? So you're going to have to do the same. There's nothing different.
Right.
Okay? Just because Moses and them didn't take it, it doesn't mean that you're not going to take it now because Moses didn't take it. I'm not going Moses' route. I'm not going to do 40 years in the wilderness with you. I want you to understand that. I'm not doing 40 years in the wilderness with you. I'm doing one. Okay? And then I'm going into Canaan after these people will be put out. I'm going in full with sustainability. I'm not gonna do it because I'm gonna tell you when the hardships come, you will have to depend on your family's own sustainability. And that's what's going to happen. You will lose all independence, all of it. If you are not a part of a tribe or a village, you will not have no sustainability. I'm telling you, trust me, it's going to turn into us and them so quick. Right? So I'm already a part of us. Do not let the smallness of my size fool you. Trust me, many people have been deceived. You see me, you think I am alone.
No.
I got millions behind me. However, none of them are responsible for doing what you need to do for yourself. Okay? So don't get it twisted. I'm not asking them to give to help you. They will not. Especially, you don't have the wherewithal to give all that you have to help yourself first. They are a secondary support. The primary support comes from yourself. So don't be surprised. And the day you figure out that you need me, you can't get to me. Then begins the real hard journey. Okay? It's going to take a whole lot of hard work and dedication. You're going to fight through hell and high water to find me. You're going to lose all kind of stuff then. So I'm telling you, before it happens, because when it does, the only way out is through. There'll be no shortcut. You know what I'm saying? There won't be. So I'm saying this now so that everyone can understand the consequences of your decision, of your judgment, because you are welcome to make it. And so you don't have to ask me, but what if I don't? Right?
That's right.
Just go on your way. It will not affect me. We are secured. I know, because when I look at the provision list, there's a list of what to get. When I look at the provision list, I know how many it can support. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be hard for you. Y'all going to be hungry and starving, and I'm going to be sitting over here. They pass me another piece of chicken. I'm telling you right now, before it happens, before it comes down to it, we will have everything before the whole economy collapse. Before the war is raging, we will be situated. We will be settled in. We will be aboard the ark when the storm hits. Okay? When the angel of death pass over on Passover, he's going to pass right over our valley. And we're going to leave Babel to fall as it's going to fall. I'm telling you right now. All right? So chapter 34 and verse 1.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she bare to Yaaqub, went forth to see the manners of the daughters of the people of the land.
Okay, so now Dinah wants to go see what the other daughters in the land is doing. I want you to understand right now what law she is breaking. Okay? So when you apply stuff to judgment, it's you have to understand things happen because there's laws and this and that. Okay? Okay? Here. Read this. Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 31.
31. Yes, sir. Go not astray.
Don't go astray
After those.
After those. Those who?
Who in.
No, those who. What is a those?
The
People.
apple outside.
Don't go seeing about people
who inquire of impostors.
So don't see that. Don't go after people who not among what the Most High has appointed for you. Mind your business. See that?
Sir.
It doesn't matter what their manners are, what their traditions are, what their celebrations are. Don't go astray. So don't wander over there to see about what they're doing. All right? Let me make this clear. So make this clear. So while you're reading it, just so you can't say, I didn't read the whole verse. Read the whole verse.
Okay. Go not astray after those who inquire of impostors, or bring up the dead, or interrogate the bone of Jadua.
Which is Yedua.
Yadua.
Right? We're not going to say your idol's names.
Okay.
We know which one you using.
Yeah.
But in this book, it will not put that. It'll put something so you can have the idea, because we're not allowed to bring it up. So Yedua.
Yes.
Okay?
Neither be ye inquirers.
So don't go to see about it. To inquire, ask the questions, or I want to know what this is. Like you're doing now. You out there inquiring all about everything and not minding your own service, minding your own business, minding your own appointment.
With them.
So don't inquire. Don't be an inquirer with them. They having a celebration. Leave them. Mind your business.
To pollute yourselves.
Because if you go inquire, you're going to pollute yourselves thereby.
Thereby, I am Yah, your Allah.
So if you go over there and see about somebody else's business, you're going to get yourself in some trouble. Stay with the family, stay among the family, mind your business. So let's go back now to Dina, right? I'm going to get back now to Dina. And let's see what happens when you don't hearken, listen to, or obey this law. Okay? So where are we?
34 and 1 we just completed.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she bare to Jacob, went forth. She went astray to see the manners, the ways of the people of the daughters of the land. Okay? And what happens when she went out there? Let's go watch.
And Shechem, the son of Hamor, the
Hebae. So Hebae, but the
Hebae.
There's no, like, we don't use a lot of V's.
Right.
So you replace the V's with B's, and it's a common name here, Heba. And there are the Hebae, the Hebites.
Hebites. Prince of the land saw her and took her by force and lay with her and afflicted her.
What happened?
And his soul.
No. And what just happened to this girl who wanted to go see what the ways and the manners of these people were?
He took her by force.
And what?
And laid with her.
What is that?
Raped her.
Okay. All right. She wanted to know what their ways are, and this is it. Their way is to take by force.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He didn't come in with properness. He didn't come in with order. He saw what he wanted, and he took it by force. He imposed himself upon her. Okay. So now you understand when you go to inquire about these people ways, this is their way. They take your stuff by force. Now you know. All right? So this is what happens. This is why the Most High says, don't go and inquire. And now that you have inquired and they have taken everything from you, right? You have no land. You claim you have no money. You can't do this. You don't have for that because you got to do whatever it is you say. Just understand you still out there and this is what's going on out there. All right? We'll be right back. Here you go. All right. So now continue reading.
And his soul delighted in Dinah, the daughter of Yaaqub, and he loved the girl and spake kindly to the heart of the girl.
Oh, see, so now he just take her, and he wanted her so bad, he just take her and go into her. Then he wanted to butter her down and this. But, you know, all this sweet and kind talk and all of this stuff after the fact, this was not lawful and right. Okay? What he has done is not lawful or correct. So after you mess up and go the wrong way, there's no way to clean it up. There's no excuses that can be given. No excuses can be made. And how you feel about it does not justify the wrong that you have done. Right? This is Shechem's way. I loved her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she swept me off my feet and blah, 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 blah. And it's day one, you know? You see? You can't say, well, he said, it goes vice versa. Well, he did say this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, you know I wasn't supposed to go, but I went. I didn't really want it to happen, and it happened. But this always happens when you go to make inquiry, and there is a law not to go out and inquire. So like everybody, the whole nation of you right now are getting ready to go and find out, right? You're about to go and find out what it is to listen to me and what it is to not listen to me, right? Because this is going to come to an end. And when it does, I'm free. I'm free to run. And I'm going to run. I'm going to run without you. I'm going to make giant steps in small days, just all over, just skipping on the mountaintops. Giant steps in small days. Continue.
And Shechem spake to Hamor his father, saying, take for me this damsel to wife.
So now he says, tells his father, listen, I want to marry this one. When? after. After I have sampled the goods, now we want to discuss marriage. I want to clean up the mess. No. Let's see how this goes out. Continue.
But Yaaqub had heard that he had polluted Dinah, his daughter, and his sons were with the flocks in the field. And Yaaqub was silent until they came.
So now he's heard the story. The judgment has come back to him, and so is the request. And he's silent about it. So he's not rushing. Let them finish with the flocks. Ain't no sense in killing off the flocks and starving them out because I'm stressed out. Let's just finish this, deal with this, close this out. And when they come back in at the appointed time, we will discuss this matter. So he was silent till they came. I'm telling you this because you need to understand, in times of stress and affliction, the judgment is not immediate or expedient. There is a process. We have to close out this, which we were already dealing with, to deal with the next thing. We're not going to jump from topic to topic and expect things to be done according to emotional stress. Continue.
And Hamor, the father of Shechem, came forth to Jakob to speak with him. And the sons of Yaaqub had come up from the field when they heard. And the men were indignant.
Oh, let's look at this word.
Feeling or showing anger or annoyance at what is perceived as unfair treatment.
So they were angry. They were annoyed. They were disturbed about the process, the unlawful process that this man had taken their sister by violence. When I tell you this custom is still here in the land,
It sure is.
listen. A man just got arrested.
Sure did.
The other day. There was a young girl. She was 15 and she get married. She having difficulty with the husband and getting herself into the wifely roles. She leaves when she is 16. After a year, she leaves and goes to spend some time with family. And spending time with family, there was a man from before that they liked each other. He jumped the gun.
Yep.
Seeing that she's back in her father's house and he wants her so bad. He jumped the gun and he sleep with the young girl.
Yep.
After some more time, the girl decide she want her husband. She's made a mistake. She goes back to the husband. But this story and the events come out. And now this man in jail. For what? The crime of adultery. You took this young girl who was married. Now she have a shame about it. She was young and this and that. And this man who knows the law and he was older
who knew better,
he's sent to jail. What's the status of the girl? She's home or with her husband or with whatever the situation, and they have to deal with that
under their law.
Their law with the family. But this man, he's in jail.
You can see a similarity, but with ours is much stricter because you're supposed to die.
Right. It's a similarity. Now, this man in jail, this husband may feel like somebody came upon his wife and just murdered her. So now there's a divorce, maybe. We don't know the private process of the family because the marriage was a family matter. The family has the choice to dissolution. She go back to her father's house. She's a divorce. He don't want her no more. Or she's a reconciled to her husband. How they deal with that private matter, that is fine. The man that take the girl on the side is in jail. So now, again, you see the family is angry and annoyed. And they are very violently moved.
Yes.
So they ready for war. It's not the peaceful or smooth thing. They want fight. What reason is they want to fight?
Because Shechem had wrought dishonor in Israel in lying with the daughter of Yaaqub.
He had brought dishonor. He brings shame. This dishonor. So honor is very important. Right? Because this young girl do this, the family might kill her. We have those, they're called honor killings. I'm telling you the laws of this land before you come out here, because this law is present. It's present. They have honor killings. You bring shame to the family, they'll kill the daughter. The family themselves, they don't want this dishonor.
And brother, there's a twofold dishonor here. One, he raped her. The second one, the law states that you are not to give your sons or your daughters to those of the other nations. This is a twofold.
So he's violated. We don't even want to come to you, but this is what happens when you break the law to go and see about something because you're curious.
Yes.
I just want to see. No. You've seen it all, okay? You've seen all of it. You don't want to see no more. You've seen the whoredom, okay? You can go watch that with Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and all the other celebrity women. You can watch the porn. You can see all of it. You want to see whoredom? This. You can watch all the soap operas and the stories and all the ratchet wives and all the everything. All that is wrong has been displayed before you. Now, when you come in, your time of inquiry will cease. There will be no inquiring.
Brother, that I am the type of person that when we read things in the law, I examine myself with it.
Okay.
As I'm reading this, I was in a situation. And I committed this sin. Because my marriage was in such kind of a turmoil. And I was in this process of being stripped. And my identity crisis. I was very, very disturbed and wanting to try to do whatever I can to make my marriage work. And I sought the manner of a woman, Nephilim, wanting to know from her, what can I do to make my husband want me? Because I'm struggling with, I'm always there for everybody else. I wanted someone to be there for me. And I did this. I did this very thing. Just the little things.
It's small. It's very, people act, when I tell people, sin is a slippery slope. Okay? It's not the spot where you fall. It was the thing you slipped on. Right? So if you go this way and we say, hey, there's a hill and it's icy, be careful, you may slip and fall, and you still go that direction, once you get to that point and you take the first step and you slide, you're going down the whole slide. Now, you may not fall till you get to the middle, and some fall all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay? Some people catch themselves on that first slip and say, oh, I think this is a mistake. Let me turn around now. But the whole point is to understand what it is. You got to make the mistake to know what it is. So now that you have the time in exile and in 400 years of captivity, you've had the time to go around and experience the falling, experience the slipping, experience the wickedness. You now know, right? So while you're out there, inquire, because you're out there. You know all about it. When you come in, there'll be no inquiries. There will be only judgment.
Yes, sir.
You're going to judge, this is this. Oh, okay. And whatever the judgment sits, this is how you're going to understand it to be. The sky is blue. But I want to call it red. The sky is blue. We're going to tell you what the judgments are and where it sits. And you're going to walk in it. Okay? Yes, this is the only way to get out. Okay? So he lied with the daughter of Israel, the daughter of Jacob. Right? For so
it was not right
to have been done. So he's wrong. He is wrong for what he has committed in his act of violence and trespass. She is wrong because her inquiry placed her in
that situation,
the way of harm. Just want you to understand judgment of the law. Okay? Her inquiry placed her in harm's way. However, right? It just placed her in the way of harm. However, the harm that is done, there is has to be justice now performed. Okay? So now let's see how we fix this situation. What's the process?
And Hamor spake with them, saying, the soul of Shechem, my son, delighteth in your daughter. Give her, I pray, to him to wife, and conjoin yourself.
Now see? So give her to him to wife, and and conjoin. So this word conjoin, right? You don't hear this too often, right? To combine.
Bind.
So now here it is. Shechem and Hamor now say we will combine with you. We'll make ourselves your people. Okay, we will make one congregation. Right? This is not what Abraham wanted. This is not what Isaac wanted. Right? Now Jacob is stuck with the reality of being between a rock and a hard place because she's in this forceful situation, and now the law, because she was not betrothed. Right?
Yes, sir.
She's not betrothed.
Yes.
So now the law say you have to give her to this man. So now he's forced to walk out the lawful process and see how is the law going to bring about justice. Okay? So innocent blood has been shed, right, with the raping of the daughter and polluting her. And now he's trying to cover it up by doing something right and righteous as if the innocent blood hasn't been shed. And now you want to join together. But this is why the Most High said, do not join with these people because they won't do right. They're not even supposed to be here. They were given the land. They don't accept it. Then they joined in with the Nephilim, and now they over here. Don't you understand history?
Yes, yes, yes.
So now they said, conjoin yourselves by what?
Marriage.
So now you see. Marriage joins families.
Yes, it does.
Okay? So if I marry an Ishmaelite, we same people.
Yes.
If I marry a Saudi, we same people.
Right.
Okay? If the law places a restriction about when they can marry in,
you got to follow that.
I accept this. You can come on in, but you marry, you own, and you stay in this law with us, and your grandchild can marry into my family. The grandson or the granddaughter. You land portion is in you land, my land portion is here. We together, but we make agreement, and in this generation, so long as you keep this law and covenant, this okay. Ishmael does not have such restriction.
That's right.
Right? As
so
long
true.
as he keeping the law, I agree with you, law, you customs, you traditions, you way, and we walk with you. They accept me in my way. There's no restriction.
Right. Yes, sir.
You see? When it comes to the people of Ammon and of Moab here in Jordan, they have to wait 10. Oh, we accept. Okay, but not you children, not you children, not your grandchildren, not your great-grandchildren, not your great-great, not your great-great-great, not your great-great-great-great-great, not your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great, and not your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great, not until the 10th generation. So your grandchildren, your grandchildren's grandchildren, your grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren, and your grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren for 4 grandchildren generations until they can come in. 4 grandchildren's generations. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you where it's situated. Okay? I can accept. If there is a caveat, a law, well, if the women, not having no men, choose to come in, then they may conjoin this separate. But that's a caveat. As long as there's one, all of you, why don't you just marry him?
Mm-hmm.
So, this conjoining is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
So I told you, marriage has nothing to do between the two people. They together. You already choiced each other. But it's the families to agree to
Mm-hmm.
the families to agree
Mm-hmm.
to come in and the families have to agree to come in. The families have to agree to merge or conjoin together. We'll be back after this. Okay, and we back. So marriage conjoins families.
Yes.
But that has to be stipulated in the marriage agreement. So now you didn't make the agreement first to give them a chance to decline. You violate the girl. She's unbetrothed, right? And now we have this mess.
Yes, sir.
So now what does the rest of the agreement say?
Conjoin yourself by marriage with us. Give your daughters to us and take our daughters to you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, so now we take your daughter. It's your only one.
right.
Well, here's our daughters, and you can marry them.
Yeah, try to make it right. Trying to clean it up.
Clean it up.
Mm.
And what?
Dwell with us, and the land shall be before you to dwell where you please and do business in it and possess it.
Now, here is the agreement. And the compensation is the land and its possession. Now, he already paid for where he was at.
Right.
He paid 100 pearls. Now, the value of pearls goes anywhere from $1 to $100,000, which gives a rough estimate because if you're dealing with a man and he has a high quality product, and he's dealing with a Moor who is a king, he's presenting high quality goods because he's taking a sizable possession, right? You have to estimate that he has to give Namor anywhere from 300,000 US dollars today to $1 million with 100 pearls. So the price and the value of land has not changed.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody goes before the king and presents junk.
Right.
Except black people.
Rebels.
You rebel lot, listen, you go before a king and you present hustles, schemes, and your perverse ideas. Listen, we could get this money. All we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else comes with tribute. I am poor. However, of what I have prepared this gift for you. Let it be pleasing in your eyes, and that we may dwell peaceably with you in your land.
But our very own.
Not our people, no.
No.
Not these.
No. Not towards us.
No, they don't. When I tell them this is the way, it's what we have to do, they tell me, well, can I buy me an acre? No. In order for you to take a possession, you must be under a dominion. Without dominion, you become a prey to the other families who have dominion. So no, you cannot take a small personal possession. When Jacob was small, he was sent away to increase, to have the personnel and enough of a wealth to buy back a possession upon return.
Yes, sir.
You see?
Yes, sir.
You have to have a certain number, you have to have affiliation, and you have to come in and that there may be peace. So who is Jacob's affiliation in the land? He have two. He have three. He have Esau, he have Jacob, and he have Ishmael. He have a conflict with Esau when he leave. However, everybody knows Esau because he's patrolling with 400-man army. Once they see he have peace with Esau, nobody wants to make conflict with Jacob for fear of Esau's wrath.
Right, because they know they're brothers.
They're brothers. Conflict and all.
They're brothers.
They're brothers. If I make war with him, surely he will come and take revenge on me, and then he will have his brother's portion and yet mine. Dominion. So you can't come here with the American mindset. You can't go anywhere in the world with the American mindset is I just want to go and be a citizen somewhere else, and I could take a small portion for me and just me and my wife and my kids, and then my kids got to go up and get their own. You're going to die. The first one may be successful for a limited time, but it will not pass on to succeeding generations. You will have killed yourself. So just to understand, so the bonus here was a possession in the land. Okay? Now what else is going to happen?
And Shechem said to her father and to her brethren, let me find grace in your sight.
So now he want to ask for grace. See?
Smoothness and elegance of movement. Courteously goodwill.
Right? So now you want goodwill towards you? You give us violence and you want goodwill. You want to smooth everything out.
Oh, that's how it is today. That's just how it is today, begging and pleading for justice.
And then
from these people that do violently towards you.
They do violence to you, and then you know what I'm saying? You violate the Most High's law and sing, your grace
and mercy.
You trying to smooth it out. You know you're wrong. And instead of correcting, you're going to ask let's smooth this out. And to give you this little bribe, and we make this little agreement so that it be okay. Just make this okay. I know I was wrong, but I do love her, and I want her to be, now this is a princess. I want her to be queen in my house. Okay. And this is what Shechem got to say, and this is what the fathers agreed to.
Okay. And what you shall tell me, I will give.
Okay.
Multiply upon me greatly dowry and gift, and I will give as you shall tell me. Only give me the damsel to wife.
So he says, listen, I can see the countenance of your faces. And this woman, I love her. I can't get enough of this. So multiply dowry and gift.
See, that's custom here.
No. So now I made the mistake, and guess what? So you're listening to this, and I want you to, you're not yet hearing what Jacob hears. And I'm trying to wait. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to wait.
Okay.
So I want us to read it and get there together, but Jacob hears the law. My daughter's not betrothed, and this man has taken her in the field.
Yes.
And even he took her in the city, nobody heard the cry. Okay, so I gotta give her this man to wife. Right? Our law states, our custom states that he still have to give the dowry, and he's asking to multiply it. All right? So we're going to get land, possessions in the land, and we're going to get, be able to do business freely. Now, this do business, you have to understand there's two types. There's outside of business, right? This comes with no usury. They're not profiting from you. And there's inside business, family business. So outside of business, you can profit. Family business, there is no profit. We're only taking care about the cost. All right? So there's one is profitable, meaning you can charge, double, triple, whatever you believe the value of the thing is.
And the family is
family,
20%.
No more than 20% for any extra work.
Yes.
All right. We're back after the battery died. So we're going back to verse 12. Now, let's take a look, and we're going to collect everything. So they have made their offer, business and multiplying the dowry. This is king talk. This is lawful, right? So all kings understand this, because dominion, land, possession, this is all involved. Okay? But let's see what the sons of Jacob answered.
But the sons of Yaaqub answered Shechem and Hamor, his father, with subtlety.
Okay, so first of all, they have to
rein in.
They got to rein in all of this emotion. And they have to walk out this lawful process. So they're going to answer with subtlety. Not this, hey, you mother effing sons of bees, you have the nerve to come around here and say blah, blah, blah. No. This is a matter for judgment. They didn't come with war to kill you and then take the daughter, even though they did this the wrong way. They are here with making a judgment. So we have to go through the process. Okay? So they answer with subtlety. And what they say?
And so spake, because he had polluted Dinah, their sister.
So because you take her in this way outside of the laws, customs, traditions, honoring us and respecting us in our way on our land, which we paid for.
And said to them, we cannot do this thing, to give our sister to a man who is uncircumcised, because that will be a disgrace to us.
So now we can't give our sister to you because that's a shame. That's disgraceful. We have our laws, our customs, our traditions, and the signs of our covenant. One of them, and also including the circumcision. So we can't give our sister to you and you uncircumcised. You're not under our laws, under our customs, and under our traditions. Okay? So you're not under our laws. You're not under our customs or our traditions. Okay? So you're not circumcised, you're out. And if you are circumcised, you're out.
Right. Because you got to make covenant.
You got to be in covenant. And you got to have the customs and the traditions. And you have to buy the portion of land that you're supposed to get. If you don't do it, you out. You're outside. So they say this to Hamor and Shechem. Your first offer sounds good. I mean, as a king, you offered us multiplied dowry, which is now gold and silver, and gifts, to appease all of us. And there's a lot of us here. We'll accept all of that. That is sizable and reasonable. And land. So we get to take possession of all your land, and we can go where we want, and we have dominion in it.
It sounds good.
That first part sounds good. But will you do it under our law?
Sounds like the very thing you've been saying.
Keep saying it every time.
Yeah.
Will you do this under our law, customs, and traditions? Remember, it's our law, customs, and traditions, so we have to teach you, and this now make you the student under us. If you wish for peace and you want to really be sincere about this, let's see what they say.
But in this, we will exceed to you.
So let's take a look at this word, exceed. It means to
agree to a demand, request, or treaty.
So this kingdom talk. If you will agree to this, come under the circumcision, this our law, our covenant, and our traditionals and customs, we will make this treaty with you. If you do this, we make the treaty with you. We can have agreement. See? If you don't do it, you rejecting the laws, customs, and traditions. You out there with them under their laws, making agreements and treaties, buying land. They don't accept the land. They won't accept money. They won't accept nothing without you being under our laws and customs and traditions. So when I say let's do it, you won't accept doing it with me, but you'll do it wandering after going astray after those who inquire of serpents and snakes and all types of idolatry. Okay.
And wickedness.
Not those in covenant with you. You want to go outside covenant. See, this is where you wrong. They right. Let's see how this turns.
And we will give our daughters to you.
No, back up. Right? To accede to you if
you will be as we are by circumcising every male.
Okay. Now, after the circumcision, then we will agree and we will what?
And we will give our daughters to you and will take your daughters to us and dwell with you and be one people.
So now we are going to now be one people. We'll exchange sons and daughters, and now the marriages will combine us and we will become one people, right? The conjoining yourselves. You see? If I marry your daughters and you marry, your daughters marry my sons, we are one family. We are conjoined. Right? This is why marriage is so important, because it covenants you to other people. But if you're not covenanting them and they're not under your law, you're covenanting yourself to their idols, to their gods, and you covenant yourself to get screwed. Okay? So first, our law, our God, our custom, our tradition. Then we can make these marriages.
Yes. But if you will not hearken,
if you won't hear and do
to us to be circumcised,
to our law, our customs, our traditions,
we will.
So hold on. These are multiple signs.
Yes.
Right? There's a sign in your flesh. There's a sign in the laws you keep. There's a sign in your body. Right? Blood covenant. You under our laws as given from who? Abraham, Isaac. Right? Also from Noah, from Shem, from Methuselah, from Lamech, all the way down from Adam. One law, one covenant, one way. So you want to make them what? Subject under this law. Who's teaching? Obviously Jacob, because he opened the school, so they have to come in. Now they have to learn. First things first, though, we take the sign in your body as the first step. So we can start this marriage business, because there's this rape on the table. Right?
Yes, sir.
We can teach you the rest after. Continue.
And, okay, we will take our daughters by force, and we'll go.
So if you will hearken to us to be circumcised, so if you won't listen, we'll take our daughter by force. She don't have no choice. We're taking her, we're leaving.
And we'll go. And their words were pleasing in the eyes of Hamor and in the eyes of Shechem, the son of Hamor.
So now, okay, this acceptable. Okay? Will they accepting the money? Will become one people, will join in the land. This make us bigger and make us stronger. My son have his wife. We avoid a war. We avoid bloodshed and death because my son can't control himself. So in the eyes of a king, he's sparing his son's life. In the eyes of the son, he's getting the woman he desires. What is the problem with this type of parenting? All right. What's the problem? Well, a proper and lawful parent renders the judgment of justice upon their own child. They don't go and try to smooth it out. They don't go and try to smother it, sin under grace. You see? Jacob, when he hears that Laban's idols are stolen, okay, listen, whoever stole your idols, you could take them. When you find the idols, bring them out, take them, and you do as you wish with them. Kill them, whatever. We go our way, you go your way. This justice, okay? I'm giving them up because this has caused all of this conflict. This justice. Sin, death. Smoothing over. No, I don't want him to die. You know, we could do this and you could take this money and take this and we do this. And all right. Now you want to put this guy under the law of the Most High. And he don't even know the law, but you're going to be subject to it. Well, here it comes.
And the young man delayed not to do the thing because he wished for the daughter of Jakob, and he was more honorable than all his father's house.
So the Most High says now, Shechem was the most honorable man in all his father's house. And you say, why? He was sincere. Circumcise me right now, today. The dowry, I'm married because it's lawful. Right?
Right.
So we're talking about the law. If you take a woman in the field and you lie with her, right? Because remember, she's not in your city. Right? This is a thing. She went inquiring. She's not in your city. She was over with them. So she's in the field. She's outside of your property. So she is outside. You lie with her. There's all this confusion around the situation. You polluted her. Now you want to marry her. And you say, well, it requires you to be under our law, customs, and traditions. And you say, circumcise me now. I'll do it right now. No problem. I love her that much. The Most High says, dishonorable. Because he didn't know the law before. He was just in his own way. This is how he does his own, the women in his own land. He just
take what he wants.
Take what he wants. I'll push up on her and take it. Then he's promising her all of this and he love her. And then she starts to feel good and comforted and you taking her. All right. So she's all right. See, this works. You know, you guys using your bully tactics and pushing up on women when you get what you want. See? Right? Now he's honorable because he's kept his word. He's brought himself under the covenant. He keeps his agreement and he keeps it today. He mean what he say what it mean. This done. What else happened?
And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came to the gate of their city and spake with the men of the gate of their city, saying, these men are friendly with us.
So now Shechem the prince and Hamor the king now make proclamation. When they get back to their city this day, they say, these men friendly with us. So now they're not enemies. They're not outsiders no more.
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
And they may dwell in the land and do business in it.
So now they receive the dwelling, right? So now they have the documents of dwelling, this proclamation, and they get inside business, family price, not outside price, family price, the discount.
Yes. And the land, behold, it is broad in limits.
Did you see that those three words? They do business in it.
And the land.
And
the land.
The land. They have now right to possess land of their choice. They receive now the land from Shechem.
Behold, it is broad in limits before them.
Mm-hmm.
Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and give our daughters to them.
So now we can exchange daughters. Right? Notice the sons not going out. The son remains in the house of his father, and the daughters are being exchanged. But what you guys do, my son got to get up, get out, get his own. I'm done. I don't know how to build a house. I hustled and grinded for mine. No. There's a system. You are building family. You have to get enlargement. I got to get my own. You got to get your own, son. You know what I'm saying? Daughter, no. She got to get out. And she got to figure out her own and get her own way. This you. This you. It's not. Don't look at me. This not me. I'm not in agreement with you.
But see, that comes from inquiring.
You have a savage, heathen way, and now you got to inquire about it. Now you out there in it, because that's what happens. Once you go to inquire, Most High says, I'll put you out there in it. I'll let you see what it's like. Get on out there. And that's what happened. We got 400 years of it. I'm good. I'm in the house now. I'm back. I'm in the house. I paid my price. I've made my changes. I've rectified all the issues. I have been given favor with the Most High and man. I'm good. I'm in the covenant. I'm trying to help you get in. And you don't want to pay the price. So don't.
The inquiring that we have done has been so deep that we've lost the whole sense of who we are and our own self-hatred. That when who we really are is presented to us, we deny it. We don't want our custom. We don't want our tradition. We want what the other nations have.
That's what
and
you want
to be like the other nations. This is our original custom and tradition. But we don't want that.
No, you don't want
so what happens? You don't want to align yourself. You don't want to come under our own law. We don't want to come under our own customs and traditions. We don't want to circumcise ourselves. We don't want to do none of that.
Don't want to? All right. Don't. You'll suffer the consequences.
Boy, this is some heavy stuff here.
This is what it is. You don't want to accept the terms and the conditions. You have no agreement. You on the losing end of it. They agreed, even though they're angry about it.
Yeah.
Both sides. Be right back. You have one prince and one king, and he subjected all the people under his dominion to come under the covenant just because he wanted one virgin daughter. Right? Shared the land, joined in the covenant for this one daughter. Just for one wife. And I can't get my brothers and sisters who are born to be covenanted.
Right.
To join in to the covenant and buy back the land.
Right.
For nothing. They won't do it for anything. They won't do it for the wealth promised. They won't do it for the wives, plural. They won't do it.
And when we read in the law that's how our atonement comes.
Yeah, but they won't do it.
But they want the atonement.
No, they don't want it because they won't do it. Without the agreement, you cannot get the blessing. Right? So the agreement requires certain actions to be done as the first steps and sign towards the atonement. Right?
And that's buying the land.
Right. So you have to accede. You have to create the peace treaty, which is the first initial steps. Once you come under this sign that you will join with us in this covenant, in this laws and traditions, we accept and we will work out the rest of the process of joining because it won't happen today. There is only one daughter, but they promised all the other daughters.
Yeah.
And right?
Yeah.
All the other daughters is promised out now to become one people. Mm-hmm. But they only have one now, so the future daughters is promised to these men if they get circumcised. And their daughters, and they have daughters now, to marry into these men.
Right.
But you don't want to take the first steps to get in covenant. You don't want to pay the price to buy the land. You're afraid of what might come, whatever affliction, what this, that. They ready for the whole whatever comes just because this one prince want to marry this one daughter. Okay. This is why Most High said he was honorable amongst all the house of Hamor. He accept whatever and abide within it. And his word is his bond. That's the one thing about him.
Yeah.
His word, what he say, he do. Because they went back after he got circumcised just to get the daughter. And he's paid all he's going to pay. They went back and made the decree that day and gave everything that they offered. Our land is a joint possession between us. You can pick whatever you want. All of this, they gave everything. Listen to what they offering, the daughters and everything.
But in this only will the men accede to us.
Will the men be in treaty with us? What is this? To
dwell with us and to be one people by every male of us being circumcised as they are.
So now they're circumcised, we're circumcised, and this is an easy treaty for us to be under. It's the same law. Okay. Okay. What else?
Their flocks and their substance and all their cattle, will they not be ours? Only let us consent to them, and they will dwell with us.
So they're saying, listen, with them is great wealth in flocks,
yes,
cattle, and whatever other substance they have, it will be ours as well. We are one people. Now we have a combined wealth. We have prospered now in joining with them.
You know how you always talking, sharing with us about how strangers can't come in yet until we get it together. We see from the beginning when he was in Sukkot that he had the school, set up the the priesthood. We have our flocks. Everything was in order first. For even this idea of these strangers coming in.
He bought his land back, everything, even a whole year first.
Yes, first. That was done first before even the consideration
that the
strangers can come be a part of us.
I'm wrong though.
No.
I'm always wrong. I always want you to know I'm the one who's wrong when I was like, first things first. Right now, this is just blood. You have to put away the strange woman. You have to get rid of this. We cannot begin with this among us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And this stranger is not even considered until he violated
to get in
with the daughter
right.
of Israel.
And to get in, the same way we had to chip in to pay to get it, he now has to multiply. He has to pay more than what it would have been to come in lawfully.
Yes.
He has to pay to get in too.
Yes.
And the price is higher because he's outside.
Right.
There's the inside price.
And the outside price.
Because he had to multiply the dowry and the gift. Multiply.
Yes.
So what? 5 times, 10 times, whatever you want to multiply, I will pay.
And this is just consideration.
This is consideration. Mm-hmm. So now they come into treaty, and this is what they do, and they say, and they will dwell with us.
And all they who came out of the gate of his city received from Hamor and from Shechem, his son. Mm-hmm. And they circumcised every male, all who came out of the gate of the city.
Uh-huh.
And it was on the 3rd day when they were weak from the pain.
So now, let me explain to you the gate of the city, right? So,
yes, sir.
The traditional city is a lot different than what you see today.
Okay.
Okay. So in this time, the whole city, everybody is living in like the mega palace. Mm-hmm. So they have a storage house, they have a marketplace, but it's a city, but it's a very, very large house. So if you think of the greatest celebrity mansion, you take that and you fill it up with the whole family of people. So if you have the biggest celebrity mansion, I mean the biggest one, okay, and you have, say, 500 men living there, plus their wives and children. That's why the palaces were so huge, right? And there's people who dwell outside the city and people who dwell within the city. So anybody who comes out, they're coming out because they all work out in the field. So all the men work in the field and the women stay inside and conduct business and this and that, and everybody have their place because you don't need much space. You're only here to eat, sleep, bathe. So the cities were whole housing units and storage units.
Similar to like a gated community? Sorta?
Sorta.
Okay.
Just like, but they don't have like the grass.
Right,
They do have some gardening, but it's not.
Right.
It's not at all like sufficient to feed the whole city.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
So they have upstairs, downstairs, passageways. The city this is like the large family house. Okay. So if I took my area here with the mosque, from here to the mosque, and I put a wall around it, which is about this would be considered the city.
Okay.
So everybody here. So we have about a few thousand people living here.
Yes.
And there's some space, but this is how the cities were constructed. So there's some space, there's some trees, but you know, if you live in New York and you remembered like Fort Greene.
Okay.
there's a city.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yes,
you got
sir.
downtown, you got shops.
Right.
And everybody's there. But if you put a fence around it,
yeah.
that was it.
All right. I got you.
So your neighborhood, right? If you live in any type of public housing, that whole neighborhood, the stores, the shops, everything within that space, that put a fence around that, and that would be your city. Plus, the outer land would be your area for your herds, your flocks, gardening, growing food for a great distance. You're not going to be cheap. You want to make sure you got more than enough. All right? So now it's on the third day when they what?
Were weak from the pain of their circumcision. 2 of the sons of Yaaqub, Shimon, and Lawi,
Right.
the brothers of Dinah, took each man his sword and came upon the city, which was dwelling securely, and killed every male.
So now, how they able to get in? They got access.
Right, because now they
from verse 21.
They have access to the land.
They have full access and free roaming, and you dwelling together. But now you all circumcised and you under this law.
Yep.
And none of you went and considered the judgment upon this man that he took this daughter and raped her to pollute her. And now that you under our law, right? The price of this circumcision, we know, is the fever. And it make you very weak in this time. While you under this weakness, no. The law
is still the law.
It's still the law. You and all you who are with him, who thought that this was a good idea, gonna die. Which is what I keep telling you and everybody else that is out there with you. If you don't come in under this law and this covenant, you are going to die. Be you blood or not. Okay? Because I know people like to think, well, I'm blood, I'm good. No, you're not.
No, you're still subject
to
the
not.
law.
Right now, there is only 2 camps. 2. Those with me going in under the covenant of Isaac, okay? And those who are supposed to come in the future, not having heard. And there's everyone else. That's the 2 camps of Israel right now.
Mananim.
Right? Makanim. 2 camps. The ones who want to be under the Isaac covenant, Isaac law, swearing under the God of Isaac in this covenant, in this way. And everybody else mixed and mingled. Okay, continue.
And Hamor and Shechem, his son, they killed with the edge of the sword. And they took Dinah from the house of Shechem and went forth. So
now Dinah was married to this man. And now that he's raped her, and they circumcised all the men and they under this law, and this was the agreement. It killed all the men of the city. Right? Now they killed all the men of the city. And took all the land with it. It's their possession now, according to this decree.
Yep, the treaty that was made. Yep.
They killed the king who didn't want to pronounce judgment on the son.
Yep.
And wanted to smooth grace over sin.
Yep.
And they killed the son who tried to seek to bribe his way out. And he had the wife, but now Dinah is no more raped. Nor more humbled. She is now a widow. This was your husband. Now you free
to go
and choose a wife. Choose a husband.
Yes.
Under the Redeemer Kinsman law. Consult from your father, and he will tell you where you're going to be. That's why it says you should not take a woman who was humbled. Should not. Should. You can, but there's a certain process that must be brought about. And you can take her after this has been cleaned up. Once she become a widow. And she can choose under the Redeemer Kinsman law. Continue.
And the rest of the sons of Yaaqub came to the spoil of the slain, and they sacked the city because they had polluted their sister in the midst of it.
So now they sacked the city. What law is this? Because they raped, they don't dwell there and just possess the land. No. They take all the gold and the cattle and everything that's supposed to be received under the law, right? They take the good of it, and whatever else, they take the whole thing, and now they burn the whole city to the ground.
Right.
Oh, what law is that? Where's that found? Okay? So they burn it to the ground. Let's see if I can find it with this phrase. Let me see. I'm going to pull up this law real quick, and I'll cite it for you so you have it.
Yeah, Deuteronomy.
This law is the law of Deuteronomy 13 and 16. Okay? I think it actually starts. Okay? Deuteronomy 13 and 13. I'm going to take a read of this because this is how Shechem falls. Shechem does not fall just because these guys got a bright idea. There is a full execution of the law which isn't discussed. It is walked, not talked. Okay? So go to Deuteronomy 13 and begin to read.
When in one of your cities, which Yah, your Allah, will give you to dwell in, you hear it said that certain men of pride are drawing back from the doctrine of Yah, your Allah.
So the doctrine, in this case, right, is they were okay with rape.
Yes.
And then covering it over.
Smoothing it out.
Trying to smooth it out by just paying an excessive dowry, even multiplied, right?
Excusing wickedness.
Excusing wickedness, okay? Well, she wasn't betrothed. I just take her to wife. This rape. This not the lawful process from beginning to end. You're now trying to cover over your sin by bringing the offering.
Bribing
your way out. Well, I'll do the sin and then I'll just pay the price and I can go my way. No.
Don't work that way.
No. So now what they do?
Or that even sages of your rabbis, have gone forth and led away the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and worship the gods of the nations which you have not known.
Okay.
Then search you out and examine with witnesses and make good inquiry. And behold, if the thing be true and certain that this abomination had been really done among you.
So now, is it our law from our God to take a woman and rape? No. If you take a woman and rape, you kill the man. Okay? If you find out that these men of pride, right? This is a king, the prince, and all the other people that have any jurisdiction, they're in agreement with this behavior, then you would make good inquiry. Not only they got good inquiry, they got the confession and everything. Okay? What are you supposed to do?
You shall smite the inhabitants of that city.
The whole city you smite. The whole city. So what Levi and Simeon are doing is lawful. So you smite the city with what?
With the edge of the sword. To destroy it utterly. And whatever is therein, even its cattle, with the edge of the sword. You shall gather all its spoil into the midst of the street and burn the city with fire. Together with the whole of the spoil before Yah your Allah, and it shall be a desolate heap forever, never to be builded again.
Okay, so this is what happens. They burned the city to the ground and they spoiled it. So let's see, because this problem continues. Believe me when I tell you. So let's see how this problem continues, right? What verse we leave off at?
Code 3428 of Bereshit.
Okay, let me get
That's where we're starting. We finished 27.
What, 34?
34. Starting at 28 is where we're getting ready to read.
Okay, give me a second. I'm getting there. All right. Here we go. So they're getting ready to make the spoil of the city. Now let's see what happens.
Their flocks and oxen and asses and whatever within the city or in the field they spoiled. And all their wealth and all their little ones they took and spoiled, and all that was in the houses.
So now they took all that. So they took it. They didn't burn it all the way to the ground, and they didn't do this. And you say, why didn't they complete the law of Deuteronomy 13? Why they only do part? Does anybody have any idea why? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because these people were not in covenant when they commit the sin. So, in entering
into the covenant,
right, They offered this, and then they offered the other part. Now all of their stuff is given unto them by their hand to enter into the covenant. Entering into the covenant, the destruction still has to go forth because of the sin which they committed.
You're still held accountable of the sin, whether or not you know it or not.
You're guilty, you're guilty.
And we know that the ending of sin is death. Either way.
Okay? So now they take the little ones with them, and they have now grown, and they leave the city burnt down, but they took the wealth from it because that was the agreement for just entering into the covenant. And what happened?
And Jakob said to Shimon and Lawi.
Hold on 1 second. We'll be back. All right. Here we go again. Start again.
And Yaaqub said to Simeon and Lawi, you have made my name to go forth as evil among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanite and the Pharisee.
Right. So now the Pharisees and the Canaanites, he said, you've made my name go forth as evil. And they did. Right? And he's saying it for a reason. I am what?
And I am a people of small number.
I'm small. We not
big yet.
Big. Right now we have big numbers, but you are incredibly wicked, the whole nation of you. You won't do that which is lawful and right and come and build according to the instruction. Then we small, and they lawfully walk in the way. But you today trying to judge them in what they right and what they wrong without the law. Or the customs or the traditions.
Right.
So you can't make proper judgment. So now the tables flip. We large, and you won't do what's lawful and right. And when you small, you will do. So what you think the Most High is going to do?
Make us small.
Make you small. That's reasonable. If you keep it when you small, and you don't keep it when you large, I will make you small. And then I'll be hard upon you, so that as you grow, it just becomes so much of a habit, you never grow out until you are large and lawful. This was coming.
So we started out going forward to go backwards to now go forward again. Okay.
So continue.
And I am a people of small number, and they will gather together against me and destroy me and the men of my house. And Simeon and Lawi answered.
Now, what Jacob is saying, you have to understand his reasoning.
Yes, it's reason. Yes,
there's a reason. Listen, this man is not alone. He's here, he have land, he have a dominion, they have many treaties among even their other brethren. We the ones small. I had to run from my brother. I'm just now getting something decent to start to get something going. My brother running around here, he have 400 men. We tiny. So he's talking from reason. Now that, listen, if we fight this one, a bigger one comes because he wants to avenge this one. Kill the small one, next come the bigger one. Kill the bigger one and an even bigger one. No matter, this never stop. So now let's see what Shimeon and Levi have to say, because they have to respond with lawful reasoning to a factual problem.
It would not have been fit to be said in the congregations of Israel that the uncircumcised polluted the virgin.
Correct. You taught us this in the school. You taught us the law for a year. It is unfit for the uncircumcised, be they in their loins or now in their hearts, to take the virgin from the congregation of Israel, the congregation of the upright. See, now this is what I mean, why are we so few? This is the problem. Okay? Now, if you're in the States, they talk about how difficult it is to find the virgin. Right? Mm-hmm. Because all the virgins get offered up unto whoredom in their youth. Mm-hmm. Right? If a young girl, it's not frowned upon for a young girl to go and commit fornications as long as she chooses a young man. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes, sir.
So if she's 15, 16 and she get with somebody 15, 16, this okay. Okay? Mm-hmm. If she's 15 and 16 and she wants to marry a grown man, this man is looked upon as
a predator.
As a predator. Mm-hmm. You see? Mm-hmm. But you can't keep your daughters chaste at 15 and 16 because you out the house working and now she is left to her own devices for somebody to prey upon her. Mm-hmm. So the man who was older, he's a 17, he's 18, 19, 20, 21, something. He finds a young girl, 15, 16. He has to sleep with her in secret, but he don't want it to get out. Mm-hmm. Then he cannot remain in a relationship with her or marry her because he's ashamed. Leaving her and encouraging her to go out and be with somebody more her own age and to go and sharmuta around, covering up his sin with the sin of a multitude of others.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that sounds like my story a good bit.
Right?
Yes, sir. Mm-mm.
If they don't get her when she's 15 and 16, they wait till she's in college. Mm-hmm. Now she's 17, 18, 19, and then she's open game for any man. She's in college.
Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty much.
Right? Mm-hmm. The old man, the sugar daddy, the young man, the handsome man, she is open game. Once she's hit college, she is sent from her parents' home to go and become a prey for the world.
And she ends up becoming a harlot.
She will indulge in whoredoms and harlotry because she's in the company of other whores. And prostitutes. And you wonder how our world get into this situation. And you call it dating.
Yep.
She got a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Right? And notice, I'm only talking about 10th, 11th, 12th graders.
Yep.
15, 16, they graduate in 17. I graduated at 17.
And it's even, brother, younger than that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, no, they try to hide this. You want to sweep this under the table. But the problem is your children are left available because you're not at home. You can't be at home because you say you have to work. Mm. You have to work because you don't have a land possession.
Or the law.
Or, well, you don't have a land possession.
And no law.
And no law to govern you on how to prosper in the land.
Mm-hmm.
So continue. You like their ways. You want to see about it, how it works.
Yep.
That's their way. You in it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We over here, and my teacher's sending us little videos about how the land was conducted before the foreigner came, so we could see how to set up a market, the camels, the sheep, where we going to get them in abundance from these people. You do what you want. No, don't worry. I'm going to keep reading this. We almost done. When we get finished with this in a few more days, it'll be over. Continue.
And the worshippers of idols debased the daughter of Yaaqub.
So, and the worshipers, so uncircumcised
And
worshipers of idols. That's you now. Don't try to act like you don't have no. You do. If you out there stopping and adhering to another nation's law, you adhering to that nation's law and its idols. If you out there and you're dating and you're going after women that are non-virgins, you're going after idols. If you're taking these peoples and you're following all over the world and the other nations trying to figure it out, you're not coming here to buy land to come under the covenant of Isaac. You're worshiping idols.
Yep.
Only one way.
Taking strange women of other nations, you're
doing idols.
Yep. Because
the whole night is the whole thing. Everything you are doing right now, you are breathing idolatrous air.
Because see, they don't understand that the idolatry is the system.
The whole system you are in is idolatry.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yes. Yes.
Don't worry. I throw big stone. I hit the whole idol, the whole thing, the whole Babylon system is idolatrous. Yes. Well, continue.
But it is fit that it should be said, the uncircumcised were slain on account of the virgin, and the worshippers of idols on account of the daughter of Yaaqub. Shechem bar Hamor will not now derive us with his words. For as a whorish woman and an outcast who hath no avenger, would he have made our sister if we had not done this thing.
So understand this, right? If you allow this to happen to your daughter, your sister, you have made her to become a whorish woman. When you don't kill the men who don't come in the proper way, in the proper ways to take a wife properly, you are making all the women to become whores.
Yeah.
See? So now the nations deride us. They keep telling you about how much sin is okay. Right? And it's going all the way from once it was okay to be whorish, it's now okay to be whorish and commit sexual abominations of all kinds. Sleep with your mama and the daughter. Sleep with the father and the son. Do all of this. Sleep with the man and his friends. Everybody sleep all together.
Divorcing the Redeemer women, making them whores.
Divorce all the women. Divorce the men. Everybody whores. And start with this mingling, and then they take the daughters, and you whore yourselves out with them, and there is no punishment. There is no punishment of death. This causes whoredom. So when I said it, when we read the law, you figure I'm a bit tyrannical. Now you hear the first one say it, and I'm still tyrannical. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be with this law. I'm with this shit. I'm with this. I'm for the smoke.
Oh, goodness.
I'm for it. You tell me I'm wrong, this says I'm right. I'm in agreement with it. If you want to join in the covenant of Isaac and be right with me, if you tired of receiving whores, then come here and we can start getting the process of accepting virgins for you. But you're going to take them the proper way.
Yes. Yes, the cycle got to stop.
It starts, like I said, it starts with a few good men. I don't need a lot, and I understand the majority of you enjoy what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you feel like, look, this is back in the old days. We're not going back. After these bombs go off and you get erased, we're going to be stuck in this condition anyway. If you ain't got a donkey, you're going to struggle to move. Go to Africa. Don't worry. After the bombs fall over there, just because the nuclear war over, the conventional war will begin. You see? They're saving it for a last-ditch effort. Well, let's bring the world down to nothing, and then we'll be able to they're calculating they'll be able to survive one conventional war in Africa. And it takes longer. Conventional wars go for a long time. But they rather do it with a clean slate and them having the advantage. They're still going to lose, but still, this is what they think is better. They think they have a better plan than the Most High. I'm telling you what the Most High's plan is. They won't tell you this, but you go on ahead and listen to them because you like inquiring of them. You want to believe them. You don't want to hear this.
Sure do.
So come on, here we go. Continue.
And Yah said to Yaaqub, arise, go up to Beit Allah, Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto Allah, who revealed himself to you in your flight from before Saul, your brother. And Yaakov said to the men of his house and to all who were with him, put away the idols of the peoples which are among you, which you took from the temple of Shechem, and purify you from the uncleannesses of the slain whom you have, and change your raiment.
So now, here's again. So I told you they didn't burn it. Now you wait. I see how I be waiting. Now the Most High says, okay, this judgment is rendered. What they have said is true. But they took this stuff. Okay? Purify your stuff. Take from the idol stuff right here. Burn this too. Okay? 7 days of purification. Right? And then we got to move. But you got to change your clothes. We got to change all of this.
You have been speaking this for weeks.
Months. Years.
That when you come, going through your stuff, getting rid of the idols, we burning it. Ain't that what you've been saying? We're going to change raiments. Women, hijabs. Men, tefillins.
Tefillins and jelly
beads. Gonna be...
You got some tunics too, because you got to work in the field.
Yes, women. If you want to know what is actually supposed to happen, you can go to Prophet Isaiah chapter 3. Tells everything that's stripped from us. You have been declaring this
from the high hilltops, which is why I only get a few people, because people want to be, they want to be handsome, they want to be, clean shaven, and the way I look, this is a little rough. For you.
You have been saying to us about being made clean and purifying. The 14 days, which will be turned to 14 years. Then we read in Malachi that when we listen to the word of the messenger that he sends, then yeah, y'all will come and visit us in the temple.
Gotta be clean.
And then what said we got?
Keep telling
So, isn't this what was said from the very beginning?
Yep, every time.
See, so all of you who are coming out from where you're coming from, this process has to be done. This is not a choice. This ain't part of his plan. This ain't what he's thinking to do on his own. No, as you can see, this is what is written in the instructions from our manuscript. You know, I know I always say, brother, you know, I didn't get this before when I read this. Because I read this. I didn't get it, didn't understand it, because I had no teacher. You guys are getting to read this with the teacher, and you still refusing to hear. As you always say, can't see the light until darkness comes.
All right. That's what I keep telling them. So here we go. Now what's next?
And we will arise and go to Beit Allah. And I will make there an altar unto Allah, who heard my prayer in the day when I was afflicted, and whose word was my helper in the way that I went.
So the instruction is helping him because he didn't lose all the gold. He didn't lose all the stuff, right? He got to keep what was promised to him, but not of the idol things. So the same thing happens when they go up against these people with Moses. When I kept reading, the idol stuff, they burnt down, but the pots and the pans and, you know, they kept all the good stuff that they could. So now let's see what they do. Because now the judgment is fixed. They have answered well and within lawful reason. So there is no debate when Simeon and Levi speak. Okay? And now the Most High spoke to Jacob and there was no correction. Come make an altar unto me. What? No, come on. I want to spend some time with you. We have to make some agreement. There must be now fresh salt between us after this uncleanness. So come, we make discussion.
Okay, make this clear. Beit Allah, Bethel, is over in the land.
Okay, now Bethel, for those of you who don't know, right? Beit El or Beth Allah is still there to this day, right? I'll tell you where it's situated. It is just south of modern day Jerusalem, right? The actual mountain. But the area, right, when you come down to the living area is in that area. It's called Luz. It's in the area. Okay? So now Bethel which is Luz, and Jerusalem is in two different places. The city of David, all this stuff, it's not how you think today. So people want to say, well, modern day Jerusalem. Just because you sick and you tired and you walking around dizzy, keep inquiring of the inspectors of serpents, you refuse to sit down and talk to the people of the customs and traditions and accept what they share with you and the way you have to be because you look down upon it. You look down upon them. Well, just because you get sick, that does not change the truth from where stuff sits. It is where it is, and this is what it is. So that's where it is. So let's continue and see what they did.
Okay. And they delivered unto Jacob's hand.
So they give it to Jacob now.
All the idols of the people which were in their hands, which they had taken from the temple of Shechem.
So now Shechem city, his whole city is called a temple. So you have to understand the whole city
is the temple.
Is the temple. The dwelling place. They live in here. Never mind what they took from the places of their prayer. The whole city was called the temple. So now your idea
of what a temple
is has to change.
Yes.
The temple is the city you in, the place where they practice these strange acts, which the Most High considers the worship of idols. See? So now you have to come, get your own land, and establish your law upon it. So let's see what they did, because these are the people alive. So now they've grown, right? They've kept all the virgin women, right? And they're getting rid of the rest. And some of these men who don't agree with Hamor's decision saw what happened and they run away and other stuff. So now let's see how this goes.
And the jewels that had been in the ears of the inhabitant of the city of Shechem, in which was portrayed the likeness of their images.
See? So where the portray, to display the images, the idols, the jewelry that has their idols on it, they give all of this to Jacob. Okay? Come on, we're going to close this verse out.
And Jacob hid them under the terebinth that was near to the city of Shechem.
So he burned them and he buried them under a tree.
And they journeyed from thence, offering praise and prayer before Yah.
We'll be back tomorrow. One day at a time, one step at a time. All right.
1.